The story of Ice Cube highlights the problem you will encounter when you graduate middle school and you all of a sudden want to get a job reserved for people with 5 years experience. Ice Cube is clearly a political virgin who just got officially disvirgined by the Trump campaign with no Vaseline. Ice Cube has somehow become politically involved overnight, reportedly after the George Floyd killing. And he thinks he can somehow get his plan, the contract with Black America, passed within 2 weeks of an election. That is what he's thinking. Hey, Ice Cube may have good intentions, but Ice Cube's attempt at making himself the self-imposed leader of the Black community and therefore giving himself the authority to sign a contract with Donald Trump on behalf of Black America is laughable. Ice Cube claims that his contract with Black America is only meant for descendants of slaves. Then, if that is the case, maybe the title of his plan, Contract with Black America, is misleading. Maybe Ice Cube should be clear and call it what it is, a contract with the descendants of slaves in America. Well, if that sounds stupid to you, then that is the message Ice Cube is preaching. A message that sows division within the Black community at a time when blacks and whites alike have marched in unity to protest the systemic racism that afflicts Black America. When people held the sign Black Lives Matter, there was no delineation between blacks that were descendants of slaves or blacks in America. It was a common message of unity. Yet, Ice Cube's purported contract with Black America threatens to subvert all the achievements that have been made to promote Black unity since the Black Lives Matter protest began. Ice Cube claimed that he met with representatives of the Biden campaign about his contract with Black America, but that the Biden campaign told him they will talk to him after the election. Well, impatient, Ice Cube said members of the Trump campaign were ready to make a deal with him right now. And his contract with Black America was so precious. And in Ice Cube's own words, the Trump campaign put $500 billion on the table. And that the Trump campaign's platinum plan included parts of his contract with Black America. Well, if you look closely at the Trump's platinum plan, it doesn't provide anything specific to help Black America, let alone descendants of slaves. It is just a 2-page document that is much ado about nothing. It was clearly crafted to get Black votes, especially when Donald Trump is down in the polls. But the Trump campaign's platinum plan is a 2-page plan filled with empty promises and bones with no meat. The $500 billion that Ice Cube thought the Trump campaign put on the table for descendants of slaves is a purported infrastructure funding that will lead to widespread growth in the annual $500 billion federal contracting opportunities. This purported $500 billion is not even earmarked for Black America, let alone descendants of slaves. And the $500 billion in federal contracting opportunities is for everyone. It's not just for Black people. So this doesn't make sense. Yet Ice Cube believes that Trump has earmarked $500 billion for descendants of slaves. If that is the case, Ice Cube is either naive or a dummy. But wait, there's more. The Trump campaign's purported platinum plan also includes a provision for affordable care for Black America that would supposedly reduce costs and improve access to quality health care. This is blasphemy. This statement defies logic because the Trump administration is presently trying to throw out the Affordable Care Act. that is a lifeline for many black Americans who did not have access to health care before the Affordable Health Care Act, Obamacare. And many of those people were denied coverage because of pre-existing conditions. But wait, there's more. The Trump's Platinum Plan also purports to champion federal policy reforms to advance home ownership initiatives. While the plan doesn't mention what specific reform it's going to do, it is important to know that the Trump administration recently ended an Obama-era policy that was meant to combat housing discrimination. That Obama-era rule required localities to make plans to combat housing discrimination in order to be eligible for federal funding. The Trump administration ended that Obama-era rule because they claimed it threatened suburban communities and that it would diversify the suburbs. To put it simply, the Trump administration does not want black people in the suburbs. And this is the person Ice Cube thinks he can make a deal with. But wait, there's more. One of the things in Ice Cube's contract with Black of America plan was to make Juneteenth a federal holiday. Well, that bill has already been introduced in the Senate, but it was blocked from advancing out of the committee by Republicans. Yet, Trump is making empty promises that he will make Juneteenth a federal holiday, knowing fully well that you need senators to support that bill. But just think about it. If Ice Cube had some sense, he will be helping some Democratic senators win their races in battleground states like South Carolina, Arizona, Georgia, in order to get the necessary votes to have anything passed. While Ice Cube may be ignorant, naive, or extremely foolish, he may have good intentions, but he has been used as a pawn by the Trump campaign to get black votes. Everybody knows Trump is a liar, cheater. And if you believe anything that Trump says, you need to be mentally evaluated. And for Ice Cube to let his name be used by the Trump campaign to sow division in the black community just in time for an election shows how extremely foolish Ice Cube is. That's exactly what it shows. Trump's Platinum Plan is filled with empty promises. And it shows how much or how politically ignorant Ice Cube is. Ice Cube may or may not realize that it takes a congressional act to release funds and that the spending power is constitutionally delegated to Congress. Ice Cube appeared on the Chris Cuomo's show, and Chris Cuomo introduced Ice Cube as working with the Trump campaign. Ice Cube responded saying Chris Cuomo's introduction was misleading because Chris Cuomo said Ice Cube said Chris Cuomo misled the folks by saying Ice Cube ran to the Trump team. Chris Cuomo never said that. Ice Cube did not admit to working with the Trump campaign, but he did not deny working with the Trump campaign either. On the one hand, Ice Cube said he's not working with the Trump campaign, but he's working with whomever is in power. You can't have your cake and eat it too, Ice Cube. Ice Cube is a confused human being. Or maybe he's just naive. Either or. Ice Cube said he doesn't know what Trump wants to do, but he knows what Trump said he's going to do. Everybody knows what Trump says. It's nothing to believe. You got to take it with a grain of salt. And when the Trump campaign tweeted and thanked Ice Cube for his willingness to step up and work with the Trump campaign, Ice Cube did not directly disavow that statement. This shows that Ice Cube may be impliedly or secretly working with the Trump campaign, but he doesn't have the balls to say it in public. He's being used to sow division within the black community. And if he doesn't know that, he is an extreme fool. But I know that Ice Cube is probably achieving the very purpose he set out to do in the first place. but he's just too much of a coward to openly admit it. Ice Cube thinks making a policy change is like going to the grocery store to buy potato chips and a soda. The Trump administration knows that it can appeal to black men by using rappers like Ice Cube as a pawn to further their agenda. The Trump campaign obviously told Ice Cube what he wants to hear because it is 2 weeks before an election. And that it's all it took to get Ice Cube on board. I'm going to put the link to the Trump's Platinum Plan in the description. I will also put the link to Ice Cube's contract with Black America in the description. Read and decide. Please share this video, like this video, and subscribe. Again, thank you for watching Extreme Foolishness TV. And remember, as always, say no to extreme foolishness.